This is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing. Something's wrong with the chat here, so give me 1 second. Should be working. God damn it. That's weird. That's really weird. Hold on. There we go. Now it's working. So this is just a quick show. Talk about anything, man. I watched the Fury Wilder second press conference, and I don't know. It's getting kind of weird, man. Trying to imitate McGregor and Mayweather, but it's too fake, and it's like he's looking like. I mean, I don't know, borderline homosexual, man. They almost kiss each other. I don't know, it's just getting creepy. Getting fucking creepy. Hold on, let me see if this works. I'm checking on my phone. Rascal222 says, fake fight, Fury versus Wilder is a circus show for idiot Wilder fans. Yeah, well, everybody's... I guess it's not only Wilder fans. I guess Fury fans also kind of enjoy this. I don't know. There's always somebody who likes this type of antics. Who wins, Better BF or Smith? The Quag says. What do you mean Smith? Which his next fight? I don't even know who he's fighting. He's fighting this Saturday, right? Wilder stuck his tongue in Wilder's ear. Yeah, it's man. It was gay, man. It was borderline homosexual. And by the way, here at BDA we do not have anything against gay people. We love Justin Trudeau, and yeah, disclaimer. All right, I'm gonna in the chat, just give me 2 seconds because I have to send the invites here, so un momento. What the hell's going on here, man? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I gotta send it to Jimmy. Alright. Sorry guys. 1 more second here. Alright, I'm back. So, you guys can hear me, right? Wilder dogged White. Rascal222 says, let's look at Wilder's resume for a good laugh. That's what I did in a video. Guys, if you're not subscribed... Okay, you can hear me. Fuck. If you guys are not subscribed to BDA Live, which is the second BDA channel, please do so, because we're going to be posting more videos there. So it's youtube.com/BDA Live. That's our second channel. So you guys should go there, because I posted some videos now. I posted that video about Muhammad Ali not giving credit to Willie Pastrana, because he actually did imitate his style, but he was never gonna give credit to a white guy, especially when Ali was with the Nation of Islam. So I'm pretty sure, Precise was right. Oh, Jimmy, are you there?
Yes, sir. Am I the first one?
Yep,
God damn, I've never been the first one.
exactly. That's congratulations, man.
What were you talking about? Ali saying would not giving credit up.
Yeah, because by the
Yeah,
way,
he
let me
gave
play
it
your
to
intro.
Robinson, Sugar Ray Robinson, but I don't think that's entirely true. And I think for the motives you just said.
Yeah, exactly. Because Precise told us to look at Willie Pastrana, and I looked at his fights, and he does fight like Muhammad Ali. He's moving around, throwing the jab. So, and he obviously fought before Ali. So Ali probably got his style from him, but never really gave him any
And there was a
credit.
few
He,
guys too. Yeah, there's a few guys too. There's a few white guys who actually was, in the 40s. I can't remember their name right now. But there's a couple of guys who fought in that style. Yeah, no, I mean that was a very politicalized time. I mean they were still fighting for their, you know what I mean. That was coming right out of the civil rights. So I pardon, unlike a lot of the shit today, because myself personally, as well, I'm sure you realize and believe, there's no law in place. There's no Jim Crow. There's no systemic racism set in place to hold anyone back. You're trapped by your own mind. Back then, for what they said and what he said, that's why I think. But when he died, I don't mean to go on this long-winded tirade about, but I think when he died, the reason why a lot of that stuff was forgotten, because I'll tell you, there was a time he was a hated dude, especially amongst white
yeah,
people. And I'm not talking now. I'm talking about a time when, different time, and because of what he did with the war, not going to the war. Although a lot of my family respected his decision.
but
For what they eventually wanted to achieve. Now, when guys talk about race, now they go in Ward or Wilder and they bring up race. That's just reflection of the media, and it's all just hyperbole bullshit. But
yeah, it's not like before. I mean, before it was really there were real tensions, man.
listen, in
Uh,
the last 20 years, no bullshit. And my friends will tell you, and I'm not fucking one of those. I know it's a fun thing now. People say, oh, I know a black guy. No, I grew up in Lowell, Massachusetts. You know what I mean? You can look at any special. This wasn't a rich area. You know what I mean? So I had black friends and, guys I would have died for, one guy, Mr. Donnell, still one of my closest friends. And he'll say it. He said, and you said, look at, all right, I'll put it this way. Got to the point once, this is 1998, we're in my backyard. I lived on a dead end street, nice built in pool. It was just Donnell and his girlfriend, right? The only black people there was a bunch of bikers. And Donnell's like, dude, I'm gonna get going. He goes, just everybody treats me too nice, dude. Like I just spilled the dude's drink. And I realized that on that day, I'm like, wow, like because he was black and he was the only black guy there, everybody went out of his way to be super nice and was, you know what I mean? And I realized that day, dude. I know this just kind of popped in my mind now, but it went. I was like, wow, that's true. It's like people, unless you were born, unless you're a scumbag, you get a black heart, you were raised in that fucking KKK filth. You didn't judge anybody by their skin color. You judge them by their actions. You judge them how they handle themselves. You know what I'm saying? Take care of their family. Stand by their word. Don't rob. Don't steal from you. You know what I mean? Just all the basic things you would judge anybody by. And nowadays, it's just the other way around. I don't know. Fuck it. Just I can't even. I don't even watch the news. I don't go on Twitter. Everything's attack. Fucking got senators saying white men. They're trying to blame white men for this Judge Kavanaugh bullshit. It's just
oh
gotten
yeah,
insane. But
oh yeah. Now it's used as a political tool to get votes. Um, I don't think they're lynching people right now. So it's times have changed, but it's so sad that they're using race now just to get some votes. The Democrats, I mean, listen, guys, I don't want to get political, but don't vote Democrat. They will tell you anything just to get votes, man. But like over here in Quebec, man, there were elections and the fucking liberals lost. You know why? Because they're fucking disconnected from society.
did the
This
liberals
guy,
lose
the liberals lost,
in
man.
Canada?
Yeah, in
Oh, no
Quebec.
kidding. When
In
was that?
Quebec.
How, was that just held?
Yeah, it was held yesterday, but it's a provincial election. It's not federal.
No, but
Anyways,
it's Quebec though, right? Quebec is lost. Who won? The Conservative Party?
yeah, yeah,
Isn't
it's
there?
for the first time.
Isn't there a new party too gaining a lot of ground? A third party in Canada?
Yes, I don't know how you knew about that, but yeah, they're coming up, man. They're raising a lot of money already. But just to get back to the point about the liberals, man. The liberals here in Quebec, They're disconnected from society, man. Like this guy was saying that you could feed a family with 75 Canadian dollars, which is complete fucking bullshit, man. So these guys are supposed to be in touch with the people. They don't know shit. And they call themselves liberals and they're part of the people. Bullshit, man. They'll say anything to get some fucking votes, man.
And we just witnessed all that with the trial. You know, same thing here. I mean, they eviscerate. Listen, I just listen because I've been falsely accused actually on a sexual charge and it got washed away quick. Since I threw that out there, I got to tell real hap. I think I might have mentioned it. This girl, I didn't even say her name, Tina Michaels. I'll never. This is like fucking going back 25 years ago. These two kids, we caught these two kids raping her. She was special needs, and they were raping her in the woods after this party. And they were on top of her. She was screaming. So me and this other kid, actually a brother who was one of the kids involved, we grabbed him and we ripped him off this girl and we threw her clothes on. I'm like, what the fuck, Tina? Because we told her to leave earlier. She wasn't like retarded like on that show, Born This Way type, but she was definitely special needs, right? So I got dressed, I got her to her house. But because she's slower, she couldn't remember names. And when she went in the house, she was beat up. Only name she could remember was mine. So the next day at work, dude, I got taken out at gunpoint, dude. Drake and police detectives came to where I work at gunpoint. Fucking felony stop. Had me sprawled out because she just said my name. And so when I got there, her brothers who knew me were like, no, he was the one who fucking helped us. So they, of course, sorry about that. But I'm sitting back there. I was in there for 4 hours in that cage. I'm like, I can't believe this. But if they can just throw that at a judge, and then this woman's accusations, the 4 people she gave as witnesses are saying they don't know what she's talking about. And they're still.
But she was mentally challenged. But she was mentally challenged, though. She was mentally challenged, right?
Oh yeah, I know that girl. Yes. No, yeah. That girl Tina. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Dude, it was horrible. Yeah, no. What started it? We told her to leave, and they went around and followed her because she was probably 16, but had the mind of a 9-year-old, 8-year-old, and they were telling her whip her boobs out and crap like that. And so when I saw that, and I'm in high school then too, we were like, get the fuck out of here. We knew that's just wrong. You know what I mean? It's wrong. So we told her to leave, but they followed her. And because we heard her screamings, if we wouldn't have left, we would have got worse. But yeah, we heard her screaming. So, like I said, we ripped those clowns off her. She went home, but she said my name, and she had a fat lip and shit. So that's the only thing. So that's how that happened. But so I know what it's like. Jesus. I couldn't even imagine. Imagine if that came back on me now, 36 years later, all of a sudden, it's just her word against mine. And everybody said, oh, well, tough shit. She's a victim. She's saying it's you. Go to prison. Or no,
is there a statute of limitation?
Kavanaugh might not be going to prison, but they're ruining that dude's life. He's going to go back to being a judge.
And if you see the narrative around that as well, especially from the left, like on Twitter and stuff, like you're getting a lot of tweets like we should automatically believe women. Women should be believed, almost like they have some kind of like extra fucking proclivity to truth than men or something. It's fucking dangerous. It's scary as fuck what's going on with that Kavanaugh thing.
Really scary, bro. You hit the nail on the head. Look at me. Tawana Brawley. Remember her, what she did back in 1987 with shopping, claiming she was kidnapped by white men, and that was a lie. I mean, history's full of women. Even this clown now, Julie Stedgwick, whatever. I mean, did you hear? Even NBC, which is, they hate fucking right, and they even listed all the things that she lied about and she's had restraining orders taken out from guys. When a grown woman gets restraining orders taken out on her, there's something off with her. A college graduate woman, you know what I mean?
Guys, we're going to have to move on.
They've become absolutely despicable, man, the left. Like, if you notice with Kavanaugh, like on the first day where there wasn't much for him to say, like he didn't say much and they were saying, he looks emotionless. And then when he was giving his evidence and he was like getting emotional, anybody would fucking be emotional if you're accused of rape. People tweeting shit like, I can see him, when I saw him angry, I can really see him attacking a woman and all that shit. It's like the guy can't fucking win no matter what he does.
Hey, you stupid fucks, listen up!
We really need to start using Skype here. Nobody can hear me. All right, let's move on to boxing.
Sorry, man.
That's okay. No, it's the Hangouts, man. Guys, you need to download Skype because we're gonna be trying that. Maybe Skype is better to do the group chats. So
yeah, I've got Skype anyway. I've got Skype.
Oh, perfect. All right. Did you guys see the press conference for Tyson Fury against Deontay Wilder?
Just clips of it.
John, you saw it?
Yeah, just clips of it. I just saw where Wilder was kissing Fury's ear and shit like that. I didn't see the whole thing.
Yeah, it looks borderline homo. I don't like it, man.
Yeah, speaking from experience, it's gay.
Yeah, John, with his experience, has told us that this is gay. So we'll take his word for it.
That's official.
Are you guys excited about the fight?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm borderline excited for it. I mean, this charade, this fucking pantomime that's the fucking press conferences ain't doing much to sort of like make me any more excited for it. These press conferences are so obvious. I mean, like they're scripted, man. Like I actually think that they've like got together beforehand and said like, we'll sell the shit out of this, let's hype it up, because sometimes I think they're not smart enough to realize they're doing this, but like 1 minute they seem fine, they're sitting down they've been on Good Morning Britain over here, which is a breakfast TV show, sipping coffee and talking to fucking like people in suits and stuff, nice people and that, and then the next minute apparently like, you know, they apparently can't keep their hands off each other. It's just ridiculous. If you look at the other press, what was the press conference where like you had Big John Fury walking over to the side, and 1 minute he's got this big cheesy grin on his hand, shaking Deontay Wilder's hand, and literally in a split second he just flies off the handle. I think what happened was they like had a screenplay planned out, and Big John forgot that there was supposed to be a part in between the smile and handshake and him kicking off where Wilder's supposed to say something to actually make it happen, but he missed out that part, and he just literally went from smiling to fucking apparently ready to rip his head off. It's ridiculous. It's scripted. It's fucking silly. It's so obviously fucking fake to me.
I just posted a picture, if you guys can see it. It's Wilder and Fury after the press conference that they had today, and they're sitting down together on the couch, talking to each other. Like, so they don't hate each other. It's fake. And
of course it is. If you look at before this fight was sort of like in the you know, being talked about or anything, these guys never had a like, obviously there was that thing after, was it the Spilker fight where Fury got in the ring and all that, and they were a bit like fucking not so great then, but for about the last year and a half at least, they've never got anything but fucking positive things to say about each other. They've said they talk, they're pretty much mates. I mean, like, this is to sell the fight. It's fucking so obvious. I don't know why people can't see that. I've got people on my Twitter thing today saying, oh man, Fury's in his head, man. Fury's getting in his head. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is, but I don't buy it, man.
Now, there were comments from Wilder saying that Anthony Joshua is a coward because he didn't take the fight. Now, I made a video explaining why Anthony Joshua is not a coward. One of the reasons is that Anthony Joshua, in his 18th fight, fought Vladimir Klitschko, while Deontay Wilder, in like, 30 fights, fought nobody, man. His biggest win is...
if you think about Wilder's record, right, the fight before the Stavern fight, which I think was 32 or 33, he fought Jason Gavin, right? After he beat Stavern, him in an interview, and Shelley Finkel came out saying he's only young, he's inexperienced, he's not ready for Klitschko yet, right? On top of that, I would say Klitschko is a way more dangerous fighter. They both have power, but Klitschko as a boxer is much more proven. Is a better fundamentally is much better than Wilder. I think Klitschko represented an even bigger threat. So if he was willing to fight Klitschko, believe me, he ain't scared of Wilder. I don't believe that. I don't buy it. And the idea that these two want to fucking say something about his resume and stuff like that is just ridiculous. I mean, Fury's got the one big win against Klitschko. Other than that, what is it? Christian Hamer, Derek Chisora, Cunningham. Who else has he fought? What? I mean, if you look at AJ, unification with Klitschko, unification with Parker, Takam, Brazil, and now Povetkin. His fucking resume is way better than either of them.
No, absolutely. No, Wilder never fought anyone. Even Stavern, that second one was a joke, right?
Close with the main Stavern.
So, I mean, Ortiz, I mean, that was his best win, and he was losing that fight. I had him losing the fight until the end. I mean, again, the only thing he's got is that right hand, but to say Joshua's afraid is just ridiculous. It's all about business, and you know what I mean? And I think, honestly, I mean, if I was Joshua, right, this is actually kind of smart the way I thought about it this way. I'm sure everybody else has too, but now it's good because you're going to see what kind of draw, because you're going in blind. We know that Joshua sells in Britain. Joshua sells everywhere, right? That's a given. He's going to put people in the seat. And if you get somebody on Wilder's level and, you know, being the champ, it's going to even be, I think he could do probably six figures, and you could probably do 100,000 in Wembley. But nobody knows Wilder. What has he done? He can't even sell out in his own hometown. He's never had a sellout in the United States. And I'm not shitting on him because I think the kid's tried. I mean, he's gone out and said ridiculous things to try to get press. He hasn't been handled. He doesn't have a promoter. So this is gonna be a big fucking tell right here. You got a brand who has no reputation here in the country with casuals at all, and then with the hardcores, for the most part, they don't find them too exciting. And then you get another guy who's never had a sellout. So this is going to tell us a lot. This is going to see how much of the driving seat Joshua has. Like, if this becomes a flop financially, it's just going to take the teeth right out of Wilder's bargaining chips. Joshua's going to be like, I'm the money, dude. We just saw that. We have factual proof I'm the money.
Yeah, but if it's a flop, do you think I'm not sure they'll actually release those figures? I mean, I completely agree with everything you just said, man. I mean, like, when they were all arguing about like, oh, this is $100 million fight, this is a this much fight, and like, I think all promoters are scumbags, so don't get it twisted. I'm not like sort of like a fucking Eddie Hearn fan or anything, but Eddie Hearn said in an interview, like, we just don't know because neither of these have got a pay-per-view record in America, and that's fucking true. You know, like, neither of them.
Oh, he did say that?
Pardon?
I forgot the mic was hot. No, Hearn did say that though. He said there's no history. Okay. And another thing too, real quick about Hearn. I gained a lot of respect for him. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'll stop right after this. But I gained a lot of respect for him, the way he handled the Eubank situation. Remember when Eubank strung him along? Most promoters would try to go along with the narrative and cover the bullshit. He came straight out and said, listen, this is bullshit. You're making me look bad. You're making my company look bad. I gained a lot of respect for him. But I'm sorry to cut you off, bro. Go.
Yeah. No. It's cool, man. Yeah, no, like, I agree. Like, he's done a few things that have been questionable. There's been times when I've thought, nah, you're a bit of a snake. But look, he's a fucking promoter. Their job is to make money, and that's what he does. Like, but you know, like, oh man, you just go around in circles with these guys. The most telling thing, and I said this on Cameron's podcast earlier, like, the most telling thing with me with this whole situation with Wilder and Fury, and with AJ and Fury, and those whole negotiation, the couple of weeks we had where it was all going on and everything, was when that apparent 50 million offer was made and whatnot. You had that day where Eddie Hearn, he was either already in America, he was flying there or whatever, and they said that the deadline to accept the offer was the end of the day, and then cancelled one meeting that they already had, and then cancelled a second one, refused to meet and refused to talk about it, and said, but you've still got to accept the offer by the end of the day. That was fucking suspect, mate. If you know, like,
there's nothing suspect about that. There was nothing suspect.
Oh, here we go.
Suspect about that. All right.
Fuck you.
Fuck you too. Fuck all you guys.
Tell us what you thought about the press conference.
Let me tell you something. I was there when that $50 million offer was offered. All right. I was there.
You were where?
I was there.
He was with Ness.
I was with Wally.
Okay, go on.
You can laugh all you want. I got connections. Bucho will tell you.
Go on.
And AJ turned it down. Look, he's a slave. Okay? Slaves can't speak for themselves. Eddie Hearn turned it down. And we offered him 50-50.
Okay.
It should have been 60-40. Wilder. Okay, and that's being nice.
No,
So what do you think about Showtime? I mean, Al Heyman putting HBO out of business single-handedly, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was a collaboration between me, Al Heyman, and my brother Wilder.
Oh.
It was a collaboration.
Congratulations, fag.
Yeah. It
I'll
worked.
kill this guy. Oh, God. Where you at?
I can't believe it's taken me this long to click on. I've just realised this guy's he's like a full-on troll. He's fucking about, right? He's got to be.
No.
He's slow a bit.
Is he serious with the things he's saying right now? Is he actually being
He's
serious?
crazy, man. Just let him talk, man.
Are you alive? Are you alive? Okay, that answers your question. If you say yes, then that means I'm serious. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Wilder is going to knock out Fat Fury in the first round. Okay? That's what's going to happen. First round knockout.
Okay.
And then I don't want to hear no shit from nobody, especially you UK motherfuckers. I don't want to hear nothing from y'all. When Wilder goes to the negotiating table, it says 90-10. 90% Wilder, 10% you.
Oh, God.
Hey, X.
All right?
Why didn't you like HBO? What was the reason you hated it?
Because they promote white supremacy. Everybody knows that.
Crackerland.
Crackerland, exactly. You said it. You said it, Jimmy. Crackerland. I know you guys find this funny, but this shit ain't funny to me. I'm gonna let you go because my fucking acid reflux is getting out of control again.
Oh yeah.
Your diabetes is acting up.
Listen, I can't even enjoy a fucking cheeseburger like I used to. Okay, I ate a cheeseburger and now I'm all fucked up. Listening to you motherfuckers laugh about my brother Wilder is really killing me. So all I gotta say
retard.
Throw some hot sauce on that motherfucker.
I'll kill you, Gonzalez. Where the fuck
That's gonna help.
I'll kill you.
He's not serious, man.
No.
Eddie Hearn, first of all, Eddie Hearn ain't got no billions of dollars, all right?
Oh no, he ain't got no $1 billion. He ain't got no $1 billion, man.
Why don't you complain when you watch HBO? Why don't you complain when you watch HBO?
All right.
That's right. That's my brother. Who is that man? Who is that man?
That's the way we preach. That's right. That's the way we preach. That's right.
I don't know, some LDBC channel, I guess.
That's the way we preach. That's right.
Sounds like Louis Farrakhan.
Sounds like my people.
How would you know, Jimmy? How would you know? All right.
Because Jimmy's a white brother. That's why.
Oh yeah.
He's one of our honorary.
The white chocolate there.
White chocolate. Exactly. Anyway, I gotta go. Like I said, my acid reflux is out of control. Gonzalez, go fuck yourself. And,
Kill yourself.
Yeah, I swear to God, I'll go to California or Mexico, where the fuck you at? I'll find you.
I'm outside your window, bitch.
All right, I'm getting off, man. Before I end up going to jail.
All right, take care, X. Have a good day.
Peace.
X, everybody. That was X. Let's talk about. Hey, is it true that Canelo might go to ESPN? Canelo.
I think that would be wise. He could go in as a separate thing. You know what I mean? I don't. Would it be with Top Rank? I doubt it, right? Unless it was in partnership or something. If it was
no, he's still with Golden Boy. But
he would go. So yeah, he would have to, like, if Golden Boy signed some kind of extension or did something along those lines.
Yeah,
I mean, it would be smart. I don't think they want to be tied to the Zone. Although you see Jim Buffer's commercials for that.
No,
I actually
Michael
can
Buffer?
see him. I actually can see him moving over to Top Rank because if you think about it, over the years, like there's been sort of like hints of problems between Canelo and Golden Boy. If you remember the Floyd fight, Oscar was in rehab, weren't he? And like Oscar's kind of like, I don't know, he comes across as a guy that's kind of like falling apart a little bit, and that whole outfit just seems to be like coming close to being on its last legs for me. Golden Boy.
I have a question.
I don't see Golden Boy signing the fighters. Like Top Rank every month or so seems to be signing out, tweeting out, we signed this person, we signed that amateur. I mean, am I wrong? Maybe I missed something, but I don't think Golden Boy is really. I mean, if they hanging all their eggs in Ryan Garcia basket, he's going to be a bumming motherfucker.
No, yeah, they have to find somebody else. They have to find somebody else.
Fighters these days, have they? A lot of like big name fighters, for sure.
In Los Angeles is that's where all the good sparring and all the good gyms are now. It's taken over out there too. It's surprising because that's Golden Boy's territory.
Yeah, he's got a lot of problems, hasn't he, Oscar?
I'm surprised he doesn't have more Mexican fighters. You know what I mean? That just,
Yeah, it's there's not a lot of Mexican fighters now, huh?
They've been fucking up a lot.
I mean, there's Oscar Valdez, but he's not.
Yeah, man. I you know what? You hear the good old days and stuff, and I know people hate that thing, but I miss, man, having always a good Puerto Rican champion, a couple of great Mexican champions. You know what I mean? It's just so much better when there's that Mexican Puerto Rican rivalry. You see always so many great fights.
Yeah, also like when Trinidad, Tito Trinidad was around, it's like he had a huge fan base, and every time he fought, he would sell out. So it was a good atmosphere. On TV you're watching and you see all the crowd screaming and yelling. Now it's like you watch Charlo fight and there's nobody cheering. It's
and you're so right too. Trinidad, man, he'd sell out Madison Square Garden, had that big $1 million smile. I liked Felix.
And he was knocking people out.
That Moyaga fight was crazy. Remember, he got the standing 8, came back and stopped him.
Yeah,
with the TKO.
Yeah, good old days.
Wilder as well. I mean, like what you said earlier. Sorry, Butcher, to interrupt. Like what you said earlier about like, you can't blame Wilder for sort of like being a bit pissed off. Like a guy like that that talks is the knockout record he's got and all that. I mean, like he really should be like a lot bigger of a star than he is. The idea that it's Eddie Hearn that's the shit promoter and it's Eddie Hearn that's robbing Joshua is just like laughable. I don't know how these guys keep a straight face and say this. Like, I really don't.
It's when people don't use facts, you know what I mean? It's when they speak from emotion, when they try to use their opinion and their emotion as facts. It's usually, it's a terrible way. If you can't establish baseline facts, then there's no use talking about it. And the facts are, Joshua, Eddie Hearn, when you're an Eddie Hearn fighter and he wants you to, you know what I mean? If you look at Joshua, what he's done for him, there's no denying that. The numbers are in. That guy's crushing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, what has Wilder done? Again, when he fought in Alabama, man, he did 8,600 people.
But
Christ.
Jimmy, here's the thing. Wilder is an exciting fighter. He's an American fighter. He's undefeated. He's knocking people out. What's wrong, in your opinion? What is a promotion that's wrong? Or who's to blame for this?
There is no promotion.
Yeah,
see, DeBella's not gonna promote him like he would if he was signed strictly to DeBella. Anybody through the PBC that DeBella handles, all he does is, okay, there's a fight, and put it this way. Look at the difference when DeBella, I think, has more in stake with, I think, Ragaru, or I can't say the kid's name right, from Louisiana. When he's fighting, you can see Wilder's out doing interviews. I mean, DeBella's out doing interviews with him, setting up press tours. He's taking pictures at the ball game. He's doing all this shit, for him, because he has more of a stake. I think when the original PBC deal was signed and he was just a front man, I think there's certain fighters, all he does is secure the building, secure the licensing fee, and there's nobody promoting these fighters. I think they honestly thought being a part of the PBC was going to sell it enough. And it just didn't happen that way. And that's why the kid's on the radio talking about wanting bodies. And you're right. There's no reason he shouldn't sell. I mean, he's a big, tall fucking kid. He's a handsome kid. Fucking, there's no reason. He's got that daughter for a story, but he doesn't help himself when he drops stupid shit like the body, or when he fucking, corners in a cost the family with children. Those things don't make him look good. Because if he wants to look at that. If you want to be a thug, you better be one of the best boxers in the world. you're going to sell only because your talent is going to surpass your thuggery. But if you want to have that image, you want to talk about grabbing bodies and, motherfucker, and attacking people in elevators, then you best not fight the way you do, or you're only going to put 8,600 people in the seats.
Yeah, but it's also the contradictions. I mean, like, if you remember before the Ortiz fight, he was saying, dad to dad, father to father. He's a father, I'm a father. And I've heard him say as well in interviews before, like, I always just pray that, nobody gets hurt so badly that they can still go home to their kids. And then in the next breath, like, I want to catch a body. And then he's fucking, wants to fucking, like, traumatize Brazil's kid by wanting her to watch as he maims her dad. Fucking make your mind up, dude. Do you want them to be safe, or do you want him dead?
Remember the show? Remember the show he said that on? Like, if he was on with say Jim Lampley, he wouldn't have said that. You got to look at the contents, right? I mean, he was on, was it that Rakim in the Morning? So it's the hip hop culture, and part of the hip. I mean, how can you listen to a rap song that doesn't talk about dropping 3 bodies? So was he trying to get into the culture of that? So I always try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt from coming from somebody who's known to let their tongue get them and say some shit. So I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. So that's why, anyways, for that reason,
it's like when Hillary Clinton was doing her campaign tour or whatever, and she was in the South, and she changed her accent and she started talking like, "How y'all doing?" It's like, does she really talk like that? I mean, she's from where?
Oh, man.
I mean, come on.
I know, tired, like some shit like that.
How y'all doing tonight? It's like, get out of here.
Remember the bitch said when she landed in, what was it, Lebanon, under sniper fire, and then they show her coming off the thing, hugging children and giving her flowers.
Okay. Bullshit stories they come up with. This is, anyways. Don't get me all riled up here. Fuckers. So we're talking about Wilder being poorly promoted. I mean, you gotta be really desperate to start talking like that. Like, do you want to kill somebody? And in my opinion, Wilder is looking at Joshua, always looking at Joshua, and he sees how Joshua is so popular, man, and he wants that. He's desperate for it. So he's just losing it now. He's talking about killing people.
I agree, and if you watch it after not the New York press conference, but the one over here, after that press conference, he did an interview with Coogan on IFL, and I mean, God, the interview was so full of fucking contradictions and just absolute BS. In this interview, he said, "So yeah, I've just fought the number 2 heavyweight in the world, and now I'm going to be fighting the number 3." I put in the comments, like, I'm surprised Wilder rates himself so low, like as 4 or 5. Like, obviously that weren't what he was trying to say, but I mean, like, what a fucking ridiculous thing to say. What a ridiculous thing to say. But what he also said was, about 1 million times, is I'm really so happy right now. I'm so blessed. He just kept repeating it, and somebody once said to me, like, if somebody keeps telling you something, they keep repeating it and saying it and saying it and saying it. They're trying to convince themselves as much as anything. I think this guy is quite a bitter, jealous kind of like character. I think I agree with Jimmy. I think he is looking at AJ. I mean, considering they're saying AJ's a bum and he's irrelevant and he's not even going to fight him and that's it, I don't even want to hear about it. They can't stop fucking saying his name. Like, they can't stop talking about him, considering, he's a bum. Like, I mean, that's just the way I see it. I think
you're right, and to touch on that too, like that new kid who just signed with TMT with Mayweather, not Haney, but he just signed a couple of weeks ago. So I went to his Instagram page just to see, and the first photo I look at, he took a selfie like anybody would, right? And this says a lot. What he said underneath it says a lot, right? So this tells you there's a lot of hate in the black community. If you listen to black people, I'm not saying anything racist. That's what they say. They just come at each other so hard. His actual comment was, "I know y'all going to fucking rip into me and I'm going to see nothing but hate, but I think I look good." And I'm like, wow, like, why would your mindset be like, you're telling you, I know I'm going to get it. So that tells you, like, that's what it's all about. And it's so true, man. It's so, they fucking just come at each other. And when you're in that world, and it's all about who has what. And, right now, AJ is the man on the hill. He's the one with the fucking money and the fans and everything. And you're right, that burns his ass because he's looking at it like I'm the American. Boxing's supposed to be the American sport, and I'm the heavyweight WBC champion. But it's not what you say on fucking Rakim in the morning, bro. It's who you fight and when you fight.
I mean, I agree. I don't think it is anything to do with like race or anything. I think it's more to do with like culture. I think it's like raised in one parent families, raised poor, and it's kind of like you got no one to guide you and say, look, this isn't how a man behaves. You've kind of like never have anything, and there's a lot of that kind of like see somebody rise up out of it, and there's a lot of people that rather than say like, yeah, man, I could do that, like, why can't, if he can do it, why can't I do it? Rather than being like that, they're like, look at that fucker, who does he think he is? There's a lot of that, man. And I think that's what it's linked to. I think it's linked to like social things, cultural things, and stuff like that.
I mean, just look what they're doing to fucking Kanye, right? You talk about that. This guy was like, he had more. I think he's number one on Twitter with like 35, 50 million followers, and he was like the god. He was the Elvis Presley for the last decade in the black community, and they're turning on him in droves just because of his fucking political affiliation. It's unbelievable, man. You see, they treated him like a fucking turd in a punch bowl on Saturday Night Live Saturday. It's insane. So that's just what it is. And the guys who do say, listen, man, stop buying the Democratic bullshit, keeping us on the Democratic plantation, not to spin it back all on politics again, but, he's like, this is bullshit. It's a reason for all this. Don't you see? It's generation. Nothing's getting better. So he's actually trying to make a change, and it's bang. It's Uncle Tom, house nigga. It's all those fucking comments in his Twitter feed. It's unbelievable. I just don't understand why. Here's a guy saying, listen, I love my people. I want to see us do better. We've been doing this for generations, and it's getting
Jimmy, we're
worse.
getting political again.
Sorry.
We're getting political again. Can we talk about Wilder without getting political? Yeah, I lost what I was gonna say here. Jesus, how did we get into this? Oh yeah, Wilder. Oh yeah, these fighters who are always on the defensive. Oh no, I remember now. Okay, so Floyd. Is it a good idea if you're a young fighter to join the TMT? Because if you look at Gervonta Davis, he's getting into trouble now, getting arrested. I don't know if it's a good idea to join TMT, man.
Well, look at all the other guys he's brought to pay-per-view status, right? He's got such a great track record, right? So wouldn't you say of course it was a stupid idea, right? That was dumb. This guy doesn't promote anybody. When he goes in, if he shows up to one of his fighters' fights, he will. The last time I saw him, I forget who it wasn't even Davis, but he was talking to Jim Gray. All he could talk about was himself.
That's the problem with Floyd. Floyd's number one thing is Floyd above everything else.
Hey guys, I gotta make a phone call, so I'll be right back. You guys keep on going.
Right.
Cool. I mean, even there was the Liam Walsh press conference over here, and Floyd did show up, and he kind of like did talk about Tank a little bit, but again, he was talking about himself, getting into fucking things with O'Hara Davis of all people in the hallway outside and stuff. Like, I mean, Floyd's about Floyd.
Yeah, now they're saying there's been such a warm reception there's such a mixed reaction on the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight that's starting to lose steam.
Well, how do you feel about that? Would you like to see
Oh,
that?
God, no. Dude, I haven't seen the first one. Swear to God, I've never seen that fight. I've seen maybe 30 seconds in one round and 20 seconds of another. I was telling people going into the fight, I was screaming. That's the reason I got on Twitter. That's why I started a Twitter account. Just to tell people, don't buy this fight, dude. It's going to be a fucking joke. People are going to be pissed. And a few people, really? You really think so? Like, whoa, and they would DM me. That's how I got, like, Mike Montero is one of the first people to follow me. And he asked me about that. And I said, yeah, listen, I'm going to tell you right now. And I said, mark my words. And I said, if I'm wrong, I'll fucking shut this Twitter page down and never fucking tweet again. was the first social media page I ever done anything like that. Yeah, no. I was calling a local radio show because they were going out there to Vegas. I'm like, you're nuts, Mike. Michael, Felger and Maz in the afternoon. And I was telling them, you guys, this is not the right fight to go. Go see a Gennady Golovkin fight. Don't go see this fight. And they were pissed. Oh.
Well, you got to keep your Twitter.
Yeah, I got the, and then some, yeah. They still haven't. I think they just wrote most of the people who were suing. I mean, when they actually had over, what was it? They had was it 632 clients, a part of a class action group lawsuit suing Showtime, including bars who bought that fight, like, you know, places, and they were charging, like, they charged schleps like us $100, right, if you bought it. But if you own a bar, it was up to $2,000 depending on the size of your bar.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, because then that's part of the thing. You know, you got the Floyd fight. So, but people were leaving during the fight. They were walking out. People like, man, you know, they never made their money back on the bar because people just didn't even want to watch the fight. They look. The one bar I knew in this area who had it, man, the Gala Club, the place emptied out by the 7th round. I was told. Yeah, I was told that. Yeah. So I was like,
the supposed fight of the century, like. I mean, got 6 years too late anyway. I mean, you know.
That's what I said. I said, listen, if this fight happened 5 years ago, it'd be a different story. Pacquiao hadn't stopped anybody in a decade. I mean, since last century, right? Or last decade.
I honestly think if that had happened sort of like 5-6 years ago, I think Pacquiao would have beat him.
Oh, if it went back when he was still banging dudes out, oh, absolutely, I believe that wholeheartedly, and Floyd knew that too. That's why Floyd waited him out, waited until he knocked out.
He waited until he'd been chillingly knocked out by Marquez,
and then he waited a few more years to make sure that power wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, just to be sure.
Seriously, I mean, that was an obvious. I mean, listen, Floyd at his height ran. He said when he fought, there was no ifs, ands, and buts about it. He could have fought him at any time. There was no fucking around with the contract. He wrote that out to make as much money as possible and to make sure, you know, I mean, that's just his whole career was based that way. Show me the one guy, the one young champion he took out. You know what I mean? When did he come in and say, fucking take out a rising star?
Never.
Seriously, never.
Never. And the argument I hear is, hardly anybody's ever landed on Floyd. Like, what makes you think Manny could do it? Look, none of the people that couldn't land on Floyd had the speed of Manny, had the angles that Manny throws from, had the in and out footwork of Manny. I mean, like, Manny's a totally different fucking beast. That Manny, like, say the Manny that fought Cotto, the Manny that fought Margarita, that's a totally fucking different beast to anybody Floyd's faced. And that's why he didn't fight him.
Of course not. Exactly. No, Floyd was never going to step in against an up-and-comer. I mean, he caught a Toro, what is he, 37 years old? He got them all at the end of their careers. Oscar De La Hoya, all those guys. The tail end. It was never no 27, 28-year-old in his prime beast. And then the one guy, I mean, even Mandana landed some big shots on him. But he lost in 2002 anyways. He lost that fucking fight. That was one of the fights that turned me off to boxing.
Yeah, I had him losing it as well. But, I mean, if people actually want to dissect Floyd's career, Floyd even retired to fucking run away from people when he had nowhere else to go.
And he's saying the narrative too. Like, listen, the reason why there was all of a sudden in the last 6 years, there's been an influx of 4 division champions. The reason why nothing's changed that much of boxing for the last 100 years. The reason why it wasn't done, because you wouldn't have been respected. Part of the thing was you stayed in your weight class as long as because unification was always, that was the fucking mark of a true champion. Jumping around weight classes and picking off fucking titles and then making the Floyd weight, making his 152 weight because that would be his optimal weight or whatever it was. It was so ridiculous. It became a farce at the end.
Yeah, and now we're in an era where, you know, like a guy like Triple G, he's trying to fucking fight everybody in his own division, and what you get then is, why don't you fight Ward? Like, I'm going back a couple of years, you know, before Ward had retired and stuff, and fucking, you know, just ridiculous. I
That
remember,
was done
like
for
you,
one reason.
I'm probably close to your age, Jimmy, or round about there. I remember a time when staying in your division and trying to unify and clean up your division. That was the thing you got respect for.
Exactly. But he's saying like it was protect the O thing. I mean, that was one thing to Floyd's credit. He turned that into a lot of money, no doubt about it. The protect the O and 4 division champions, all this other shit. It's because you didn't either lack the discipline to stay in your weight class, or you were avoiding somebody. No, there was no third option. You know what I mean? It wasn't a respected thing for do. It's why Sugar Ray Robinson didn't do it. I mean, unless you naturally outgrow it, which was always common, but that's in the beginning of people's careers. But usually once they get to the pinnacle of success, you don't usually see them going around jumping classes.
Yeah, I mean, in the case of somebody like Manny, he was getting bigger and whatnot, and he started off. He was malnutrition. He was a malnourished kid.
Was 118 pounds? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I've got no problem with. I've also got no problem with somebody that kind of like stays in the division, cleans it out, and then there's nobody left to fight. You're kind of big or whatever. Move up. That's cool. I mean, Usyk's just done it now. There's nobody left for him to fight at cruiserweight. He fights Bellew now. Who else is there?
Right.
Then I've got no problem with it. But it's kind of like, right, I'm just going to win this title. And then, to be honest, that guy's a little bit too much of a handful. Oh, I think I'll move up. Like, what the fuck is that? Like,
No, exactly. And the thing is, like you said, it's frustrating too, because you go on Twitter and you see and things people say, and they say it with authority, and it's just their opinion, and it's based in absolute bullshit. And they speak from a position of authority, and they get all fucking yappy. It's nuts.
Yeah, the idea
is frustrating.
The greatest fighter of all time.
That's a joke. That's a joke. Ring Magazine has him number 25, 24 overall in their 100 top all-time fighters.
Fair enough.
Hello? Can you not hear me?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man? I was trying to talk, but for some reason my mic didn't work. Real quick, the point he was making, he himself doesn't believe it. I don't remember, he did an interview with, I think it was Marquez, Juan Manuel Marquez, and he himself said, I just use it to sell.
Right.
Well, he actually said that saying that he was the greatest of all time, he didn't really mean it. He just used it to sell.
Try and look for it, but I remember him saying it, and I think Marquez was there as well. He turned to Marquez to him. Yeah,
I've seen him on a game show where they asked him to put rank. You guys must have seen this. There's clips of it on YouTube. He's on some sort of TV program, and they had like a board, and they had people's names, and it was like Muhammad Ali. There was Ray Robinson, Ray Leonard, a few other people, and they asked him to like rank them, and he somebody else ranked them, and I think they put Floyd 4th or 6th or something, and he fucking walked over to the board and swapped it around so he was first, like. So he seemed to fucking believe it then. Even the people on the show, which, generally, if you're on a TV show, they usually play nice, don't they? And even they were like, really? Really, Floyd? Like, Yeah,
no way. How can you compare his career to somebody like Sugar Ray Robinson's? I mean, the wars he was in, fighting fucking 16, 17 times a year.
Yeah, and this the whole 50-0 thing and everything, at the time we're talking about it, I think he was 48-0 or 49-0. There was guys that went further than that and then lost later in their career. So how does that make? Because you retired with less fights, that makes you better somehow. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Do you think it was any out of all the guys who went 50-0, like you said, right? There was a lot of guys. I mean, how many fights didn't even? Julio Cesar Chavez have over 50 before he lost his first fight?
He probably did. I think Ray Robinson did.
Yeah, Ray Robinson. A lot of guys did. And who's the guy, though? Who's the guy they constantly put him against, made shirts, T-shirts, everything, about to beat Marciara? You know what I mean? Rockies. Totally different weight class, too, a heavyweight, because he was the only white guy they could fucking get on. And that's not me being, that's just truth. Because it was when it was happening, I was like, what the fuck's that all about? Why are they going after, we're gonna beat Marciano's record? I'm like, what? Marciano isn't holding no, that's not his record. Well, you're not a heavyweight. You're not going 49 or 50 as a heavyweight, you fuck. It's a lot harder to do that as a heavyweight.
Totally different fucking thing. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous, man.
Yeah, you didn't fight MMA fighters either. You fought actual
Exactly. Exactly. Fucking, can you imagine it? They would have booed him out of it. If the shit athletes try to pull today, they just never would have done that shit before. Never. Because that's the problem with when you don't have enough guys in the sport. So what happens through osmosis, you end up having to deal with all this eccentricities and crazy bullshit that you normally wouldn't, because you would just go away. Because there's 100 guys behind you who are willing to put in the fucking fights and do all that. So it's the reason why you couldn't cherry pick. That wasn't even a term. I don't remember even hearing that term until the fucking 2000s. You know what I mean?
No, neither do I. Look right now, right? What is Wilder? 40, 41? Is it 41 fights? I think he's probably going to beat Fury if this fight happens. I still say I believe it when the first bell goes, because I've said it before. I won't go through it again, but if that fight goes ahead, I don't think Fury's ready, and I think Wilder probably will knock him out. So that'll be 42. We could be looking in a few fights at Wilder equaling that record. I mean, like, is anybody going to make the case that Wilder's the GOAT if he... I mean, like, come on. That shit don't mean nothing. It doesn't mean fucking anything.
I know, it's nuts. That's why it's the only problem. I wish there was more guys in the sport, because when you have more guys, it automatically pushes the cream to the top. You just couldn't. You end up having to deal with stuff, and that's why. Listen, for as bad as the mob was in a lot of ways, one thing nobody can deny, what was the driving force behind the mafia was money, greed, right? That's all they cared about, and nothing brought out the betters and the big money fights than the two best guys. So it was advantageous for them to make sure the best always fought. That's why you had so many great fights back in the day. The top champions were always fighting each other because the mob wanted to make that green. So there was a plus side. Plus another thing too, you didn't see a lot of this shit. They just wouldn't have done it. They would have been too afraid. I mean, there was definitely fucking fights thrown and shit, but even then, the mob didn't do much of that too, especially at the championship level. Because once it gets caught doing that, say if the Gambinos are behind that fucking fight, nobody's going to lay money down on Gambino fights. So it hurts them, you know what I mean, in the long run. So there's a great book by Jimmy Cannon about that, the mob. I think it was Jimmy Cannon wrote about the mafia and the boxing. And it really did. It did control a lot of this shit. Because there's still criminals in the sport. Now they're just not afraid of getting put in a trunk. You know what I mean?
They're Harvard graduate criminals now, like, instead of imported ones. That was a bit of a cheap shot, but I'm gonna have to jump off, guys. Cheers for.
Hey, what's your Twitter handle, brother?
It's Paul May 77, PAULMAY 77.
Paul May 77.
Yeah, PAULMAY.
I'm gonna follow you, brother. Excellent. I'm surprised I didn't. Okay, excellent, dude.
Yeah,
you have a good night. Be safe.
Cool, man. Yeah. See you all later. Yeah. Bye, guys.
So is that you, Johnny?
Yeah, hello.
What's going on, buddy? I saw your tweet there, man. Your life insurance for your kids, for your family.
Oh, yeah, for my family. I don't have kids yet.
Oh, I saw that, though. Good for you, brother.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's been a long time coming, yeah.
How long you been with the post office?
For I just started about 3 months ago, so yeah, about 3.5 months.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good gig, man. Do your 20 years, 25 years, get your pension.
That's what everyone's telling me. My dad's telling me, hey, do it. And then, after 20 years, if you still want to do it, go ahead. But
you're a young guy, dude. Yeah, exactly. You're a young guy. Fucking 20 years, dude. Trust me, don't blink. Right? You think at your age, 20 years, fuck. In one way, it is a long time. In other ways, dude, you'll look back and go, holy shit, that was 20 years ago. It goes by.
Yeah, no, I mean, shit. I believe you. That's what everyone tells me, and shit. If I can't do anything better, then I'm just gonna stick to it.
Right, exactly. I mean, that's it. You got the Bennies, you got all that shit. You stay there, and if something else comes along in the meantime, but that's you add everything up. That's job security, Bennies, all that stuff. What do you live in California?
Me? No, I live in Texas.
Texas. So, but you don't have increpid weather, so you're not like delivering in snow and all that other shit, right?
Nah, I mean, probably like, if you can call it dangerous, it's probably just weather. Maybe a little bit of flooding, but nothing bad, man.
In the heat, though, too. You get a heat stroke, man. It's hot down in Texas, right?
Oh, hell yeah. When I think it was like my first month in there, shit, I was delivering mail in the fucking heat, and it was like 100, 107 down here, and
That's
fucking
crazy.
kicked my ass.
Where do you live in the West Texas?
I live in, I guess Central Texas. I live in San Antonio, Texas.
San Antonio? Okay.
It's about like an hour away from Austin.
Yep.
Yeah.
No
like,
kidding, man.
It's all right. It's cool, but I work out in well, I don't want to say exactly, but yeah, I don't work for the San Antonio post office. I work for another little.
No, I understand. I understand. Keep your shit personal. You don't want to be, you don't know who's listening and shit. But no kidding. Good for you, dude. Now, do you ever see rattlesnakes out there?
Yeah.
You see rattlers, huh? The timbers. I mean, you got the diamondbacks out there, right?
Yeah. For the most part, we see rattlesnakes, man, but no big deal. Just don't fucking get too close to them.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty good with snakes. I own some snakes. I even had I had a poisonous one before. I don't have it anymore. It's actually big time illegal now in Massachusetts. They don't let you have anything.
What kind do you have?
It was actually diamondback. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I wanted to get a Gabon viper, but they were those huge heads. I was wicked into snakes at one time.
That's cool.
Yeah, they were the Gabon they were selling. It was $2,000. It had 2.5-inch fangs. But when I saw a video of them, it bit a guy. He was holding him by the back of the neck, and because their fangs, they can unsheath them, and they're so long, it went up through the back of its mouth and hit the dude in his finger. And I was like, "Yep, nope, that's good for me. I'm all set." But yeah, and I grew there anyways. But so is it just me and you talking this shit? Is anybody else on in here? What do we want to talk? You want to talk boxing? I don't want them to be mad at me.
I just don't talk about whatever.
All right, I just don't want those guys to be upset.
Yeah.
But
you got? Yeah.
What's that, brother? What were you about to ask?
No, go ahead. No, you're good.
So are you old enough? Do you remember Mickey's fight at Toros? Were you old enough to remember them live, or have you've probably seen them on like tape, right? Or
yeah, I've seen them on tape, but I remember vaguely because I was like about maybe 12 or 11, around that age.
Right.
And it was like I would see it at my aunt's and uncle's house, but stupid me, I should have paid more attention, but I didn't really pay too much attention. But I just remember, it being a fucking fight. But
it's crazy. I just went to when I was at YouTube the other day. One of them, it was at the fight, and it was in HD. I don't think it was the HBO. I don't know which whose account was on it, but it was like 36 million views. I was like, wow, holy shit, that's crazy. And I was just wondering if you remember that when it was. I actually saw him the other day. Still in good shape, man. Dude looks like he could still get in a ring.
How old is he now? Like about
52.
50?
52.
Okay,
yeah, 52 years old. Oh, 52 this December.
That's good. I mean, how long have you known him?
Since longer than I have memory. I have these pictures of me and him in a playpen together in a crib. His mom and my mom were like best of friends. We grew up like 2 streets over.
Yeah,
I knew him my whole life, dude. I knew him way before he even started boxing. I remember he was like a good wrestler. Actually, he was an excellent wrestler when he played Pop Warner, baseball. He was a good athlete, good overall athlete. His whole family was in a boxing. My family was too. His uncle, actually, Larry Connie, well, not his uncle. It's actually his brother-in-law, which is weird because he was old as almost his grandfather. Strange thing. His older sister, stepsister, married Larry Connie. But Larry Connie fought Joe DiNucci in Boston Garden in 1969. Half the Boston Garden was Italian. The other half was Irish. But yeah, so it's been a long line. Bo James, another family member of Mickey's, he was a legend around here boxing. So it was in his family. So we always knew Mickey was going to get into it. And he started around 7 or 8, with sparring shit, but he really wasn't. Boxing didn't become his thing until probably 16 when he really started deciding that was what he was going to do. just because he was so tough, you know what I mean? He could just take a beat. And like, I'm not even, he'll tell you right now, back then, I was better than he was as a boxer, without no question. It wouldn't even have been like a debate. I was a much better jabber, my footwork, everything was better than him. Except I just didn't have, like, I just did not like getting the beatings. You know what I mean? Because I got sores in my mouth and shit. And that, I just know what it was on, I shouldn't have said it like that, but I was more into hockey. And I was constantly fighting because hockey, I didn't want to be light. You know what I mean? And if I wanted to box, so I kind of came into that road where I wanted to pick which sport. And it really came down to like, I just didn't want to get fucking, you got, some people like it. Some people like the punch and the pain and all that other shit Mickey did. I just didn't,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? I just never was going to get into it. Yeah. I wasn't afraid of it, but I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, I did boxing for a little bit, and then I got my ass whipped. I was like, I don't want to do this shit anymore.
Yeah, you just gotta, if you have other things to do, you do them. Like Jared Hurd. I look at him. I was just looking at a video of him today. There's a kid you can tell don't bother him to get punched. Look at his nose. Look at how many times the scar tissue, like the tough skin around his eyes. People say, "Oh, Jared Hurd doesn't have defense." Bullshit. Jared Hurd has excellent fucking conditioning. So what he does know is he knows he can take a shot, and his thing is, let's throw it out. Let's will to will. You're not going to, and I respect guys like that, but I just don't like, I don't know, maybe I was vain. I'd always went, I'm like, yeah, is my nose broken? Dude, shut up. Because I would always like, is my nose broke? Because I ended up getting it broken. Actually, Mickey broke it with an elbow by accident. She shattered it with an elbow. But yeah, no, my father had it fixed, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. My father's teeth were all fucked up. He had problems. Everybody, all my older family had it. And my mother was dead against it, so that was a hard thing. Everything had to be snuck behind her back. Like, I could not, no way, till I turned 18. She would have thrown my father out of the house if she knew I was, fighting. Because she was with my dad since she was 16. She remembered what he went through. She saw his family members. And then there was a local guy, Ding Ding. I guess that was Mickey's second cousin through marriage or something. His name was Ding Ding. It's a sad story, kind of, actually. He was one of those guys who walked around downtown as a homeless guy, but he actually wasn't homeless, but you would thought he was homeless. His mind went soft from like almost Parkinson from getting punched so much. So kids being cruel, especially back in the 80s when it wasn't so much political correctness, would yell, ding, ding, when they saw him. And what he would do, he would start swinging automatically. Whoever's near him was getting punched. Whether it was it was bad. Like, police were always grabbing him. Yeah, it was sad. They would go ding ding, and then he would turn around and just start swinging, and kids would laugh, and Mickey would grab kids who did it, would fucking toss them beatings, and would say, "You think fucking he doesn't know? Like, he doesn't? You think he's fucking doing it because he's hearing ding ding and it's a bell and swing? He knows somebody's making fun of him. He just doesn't have the wherewithal to know who's doing it. So he would swing on anybody who was near him, and it was you know what I mean? So." And that was, he was on the streets for like 20 years doing that. So because of that, my family didn't push me into it at all. It was actually frowned upon. But that's the reason why, one of the reasons why I was never into it. Where Mickey's mother and father, they didn't care. She didn't care, Alice would have fought herself.
I kind of wish I always got into boxing and did some training. I mean, I have one of my dad's cousins, his son's a professional boxer, and I always wanted to, go.
What are you, 24, 25 years old?
Shit, I don't mind. 27.
22, but you don't have to go pro, but you should go down and fucking, you know what I mean? Do you go to, at least go out and fucking try the amateurs. You know how many guys 27 years old fighting the amateurs? Set a small goal for yourself. You know what I mean? If you really want to try boxing, go to the gym, get into the thing, and then if, you feel you can take it to that thing, do an amateur thing. Just do one tournament,
Yeah, I'll definitely try it out. I just gotta, what do you call it, with my work when I
that's another thing too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if I can get out, get good at it and get out, pretty early, I'll definitely, go for it.
Do all your training in the morning. Do all your running in the morning. I'm telling you, dude, that's the best time, especially if you want to lose calories, is do all your cardio in the morning on an empty stomach. Because that's you're gonna burn the most calories.
Because I run a bit, but like when I run, I do it after work. So lately I've been getting out like around 6 in the afternoon. Get home like around 7:30.
You beat, right?
And I don't eat. I don't eat all day at work.
And then you beat. You're probably stressed out.
But but the running after work clears my mind, so I love it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So you get the runner's high. Do you ever get those? Do you ever get that? I had that happen a couple of times. I never believed it until it happened to me. I remember running and one night and I was like, wow, I'm feeling fucking buzzed as a bastard. I'm like, this is it. And I got it. Yeah, it happened twice, man. I didn't want to stop running that night. I remember went down to the U-Lol track and, we're going to run a couple of miles on the track. I ended up running like 10 miles that night because I didn't want to stop. I couldn't, but I never thought that. I used to always think that was bullshit until it actually happened. Just endorphins. That's all it is. Just the endorphins get released.
You guys cycle a lot, or no?
What's that?
No.
You guys cycle? Because I hate running. I always cycle, or when I go to the gym, I use the bike. I don't run at all.
Well, running's not. I used to run in I used to actually run in boxing shoes, the Axis Tigers. That used to be the thing. We used to actually run in our boxing, which is no support at all, because we'd want to get used to them. I used to wear them out, actually. Red Axis Tigers with the silver stripes, man. I'll never forget them. But, I used to jog in those, but my fucking shins paid for it. Your knees pay for it. Running on cement is horrible for you. Really is. It's bad for you.
That's why I hate running.
Yeah. Hills are good if you ever want to just run hills. Actually, running in place if you get access to a pool. Running in water, doing just a lot of water calisthenics will burn a lot of energy too. Where do you live, brother? Yeah, I know you said Texas. Who else is on here? My phone's probably checking. Apology. Where you live in the States, right?
No, I live in the UK.
What's that?
UK.
Oh yeah, UK. My God, that's right. Did I say States? I meant to say UK there. Yeah. What part of the UK?
At the moment, I'm in London, but I'm gonna leave soon.
No kidding, huh? That's I hear that a lot. People leaving London.
Yeah, it's hellhole. Like you probably see the news like every week, stabbings, tension, fights, stuff like that.
Can I tell you, it actually really bums me out. I'm not even just saying that. It actually really bums me out. I loved England. I went there in 2001. I loved it. I loved the people. I loved the culture. I loved the history of it. You know what I mean? I bought into the whole tourist thing. I did. I went all over to and it was an isolated island. It took 1,000 years to build that culture. You know what I mean? You just can't replicate that. You just can't bring in tens of thousands of people and say, you're now British. British is a mindset to me. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm making any sense, but you know what I mean? Like I don't know. It breaks my heart because I enjoyed Europe, and actually England was my favorite. England and Germany, and to two countries to see most affected so negatively really bums me out.
What's going on here? Are you talking politics?
What's going on, brother?
Are you guys talking politics again?
Nope. Yes. Actually, no. Did we? Oh, actually, hey, listen, the whole time I think we were talking about boxing until right at the end. He said he was from London, and I said, oh, well, and he said he was leaving London. I said, yeah, I've been hearing that a lot lately. So I think that's where we were at. So, no, we weren't talking politics, though. Kind of hard today, though, right? Not doing all that shit, but.
Yeah, it's always hard these days.
Right.
Anything else we can talk about boxing, though? Boxing related?
I got a boxing related question.
Yes, fire away.
Anybody ever been knocked, unconscious?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes,
just body shots.
I guess I'm the only one.
Yes, I've been knocked unconscious, but it wasn't from boxing. It wasn't a bike accident.
Oh,
yeah.
So yeah, I was fucking airlifted. But I've been dropped. I've been hit with body shots that made me almost fucking cry like a woman. So I'm not trying to act like a tough. I folded like a lawn chair.
Yeah. Some guy I know I used to box with got hit with a body shot and he literally shot himself.
Absolutely. Mickey Wood did that to Robbie Sims, Marvin Hagler's brother. Went and sparred him down in sparred Robbie Sims, and we went down and fucking caught him with a liver shot. He fucking shit his pants.
Yeah, shit was for everyone. Everyone started laughing.
Yeah, dude, it's horrible, man. It's a horrible fight. Not shitting your pants, but getting a body shot is an ugly, because you just can't breathe. You're like, you want to breathe so. And the worst part is you're conscious. You feel it. You see everything going around. You're aware of everything, but nothing matters. And it's a scary feeling if they catch you right. Like Mickey caught me once right underneath the fucking. I had a flak jacket on. He caught me right, and I literally couldn't feel my legs. Like I was like, "Oh shit!" He was laughing. He goes, "Dude, you just saw your face. You looked at me like you knew it was coming." All of a sudden, and I just dropped right to the fucking. Oh, it was horrible, scary. Literally, you can't feel your legs. You can't breathe.
Yeah, it freezes you, man. It freezes you.
Oh, to see something to see. That's why when I saw Toro got up off the canvas in the fucking 9th round when he fought Mickey that first fight, and I knew when I saw Mickey dig that shot, and there was no flak jacket, and Mickey was trying to break his ribs, and he got up, and that's why fucking he's like, Jim, you could stop this fight anytime. No, that was crazy. Literally by the end of the fight, dude, I had tears in my eye. It was nuts.
Yeah, I've been punched in the body. A few times by my older brother, and he's not a boxer or nothing. He's just older. He used to beat me up a lot. And man, those are the worst. Like he's punched me in the face. Like he's punched me in the face, scarred up my face, opened up a cut and I had to get stitches. But I'd prefer that over when
your brother did that to you? Your brother punched you with a closed fist?
We did to each other. Yeah.
No shit. I know you guys are a little crazy, huh? Yeah.
Oh no, we love each other. We support each other, but just there's times where, we just get mad at each other and we don't talk shit. We just kind of go at it and then ends up getting ugly, but we forgive each other and right away. But I'm usually getting the one fucked up, so
it was an automatic almost death sentence in my house because it was 5 boys like my father from the time we were young. That was the one thing. I'll disown you because he knew you have that many boys, if everybody starts throwing hands it could get ugly, start moving in furniture real quick. So yeah, that was, he stressed the 5, and we just grew into it. I can honestly say, never, because by the time we were teenagers, like you're out of the house if you ever threw a punch at you. The rest of the brothers would have turned on you too. So we slapped each other though, a lot of open hand slaps, a lot of kick to the nuts and everything else, man. Don't get me wrong, we hit each other with phones and everything else, but no closed fist to the face. Plus, most 4 of us box where we could box pretty good, so we started hitting each other. I got those knuckles too that I slice people. I don't care where I hit you, you're getting cut. Mm-hmm. I'm a cutter. I got those fucking. Mickey's that way too with his hands on the street. Anytime that dude catches somebody, he opens them up. You can see meat.
Yeah, that's this one time where I got punched in the face and I guess I got paper skin because I always get cut open, and the kid had punched me in the face and I guess the inside of my mouth hit the tooth, so not only did it open the cut on the outside, but it went all the way through. So I drank water to kind of like swish it around my mouth and move it around. And I swear to God, water shot out through that hole.
Yeah, I saw somebody shoot beer from after a fight. He was all night. He was spitting beer out through the hole in his cheek. The same thing. Yep.
That was pretty cool.
So I don't even go out anymore. I don't even know what it's like anymore out there. I try to avoid all the clubs. Actually, last time, I don't know, I shouldn't mention that, so it's not even done. But this way, last time I was at a bar in Lowell with that whole clan, Mickey's family. Well, a dude died in the parking lot. Yeah, I didn't hit him. Dickie hit him, and somebody else hit this dude. This guy was a drunken idiot all night, running his mouth. And fucking Dickie hit him. Kid went outside, and then Kiki Rudy went out there. And next thing you know, man, a couple hours later, someone out there, dude was dead. Hit his head in the ground. Captain Johns, you can go online and probably read about it. Yeah, Mickey was questioned, but he already had left. It was bad. Fucking that's that night. I always said my whole life, like, somebody's gonna end up dying one of these nights because just nobody's always getting punched, And I'm like, Christ, I haven't been in this bar in 20 years and people are still fucking just being knuckleheads. Doesn't get any better.
It's way worse now, Jimmy. Way worse than what you think or imagine.
Yeah, like
crazy.
I would think it's crazy, like I would think he died from getting hit and, him falling on the floor, hitting his head on the floor.
That's what the autopsy said, his head from hitting the ground. Just happens actually more than, that's usually what it is. It's usually the head hitting the ground after. You see people laying boots to people and on the ground too. That can usually cause some serious issue.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I think about that too sometimes. Cause that time when I got knocked out unconscious, I got hit square in the jaw and I don't know where it was, but got hit square. And all I remember was just hitting the floor, trying to stand back up, falling down. And I was thinking like, damn, like, did I hit my head on the floor when he punched me, or would I just did I just get knocked out completely? And then from what I remember, it's just trying to get up, falling down, and it was just at school. So
what, he sucker punched you at school?
Oh no, we went face to face, but from what I remember, I think his buddies held me after I punched him, and he just got a good one on me. And he punched me. They held on to me. He punched me. I went down.
You got good teeth, dude. You don't want to be fighting, man. You got good chompers there. You don't want to go knocking your teeth out.
And I just remember, I don't know how I knew this, but he went to the principal's office, and I just remember walking towards the principal's office, stumbling. But I don't remember the whole walk. I just remember little pieces of like, hey, here are the lockers, everything went black. Me opening the door, everything went black. Me halfway down the hallway, everything went black. Me turning the corner to the office, everything went black. And then
did you get those pins and needles too? Remember feeling like pins and needles in your extremities, or was like everything like a warm, fuzzy feeling at first when you first get? Because I've been like buzzed real good, and I used to always get that. Maybe I'm describing it wrong. Did you get that bright flash of white light? Is that the last thing you saw?
Shit, no, it's just like I fell asleep, and then it's like falling asleep and just waking up and seeing like little things, and then falling back asleep, waking up, doing little things.
Yeah, so he definitely got you in the jaw then.
Oh, yeah,
in the jaw for sure.
Oh, he sparked me the fuck out. But I don't know how, I guess like, oh shit, sorry. Yeah, I guess like, I was just out on my feet, but I was still moving around, and I was able to catch up to him. And I just remember completely waking up was when the principal had got me, thrown me on a chair, separating us. And I was like, damn, that's an experience. I never felt that before.
Probably don't want to do that again, man. Don't need that bullshit. So now, let me ask you a question. If Mayweather was to fight Pacquiao, would you order that fight? You think people would actually buy that? Or am I just being way too negative?
Not as much as at first, but I mean, I had the money, so I'll just buy it. I don't give a shit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't buy that shit. Not after what they did on the first fight. Like, come on. That was a ripoff. And now they're how old now? I mean, this is... why are we talking 41? About this shit? Fuck Mayweather and fuck Pacquiao.
No, come on, not Pacquiao.
Yeah, what happened? What Pacquiao do?
But Pacquiao, man, is still in he should be retired.
He's still fighting good, though. He's still top level.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's not. He fought Matisse, man. Come on.
He's right now though. He's fighting strictly for the money. So you know what I mean. It's like right now, which he can do whatever he wants. Don't get me wrong. It's his life. He can do whatever he wants. But I just choose not to get behind somebody once they become a mercenary, because he's not fighting for any kind of legacy. He's not fighting. I like to see something. Is there a goal? What's going on? Who's fighting next? Or right now, it's just he's looking for the optimal money.
Yeah, well, that's sad because by now he should be retired, especially if he's a politician. It doesn't make sense that he's still fighting. That means that, well, he owes a lot of money to somebody, and that's sad.
Yeah, but he's a politician in the Philippines. It's not that. I don't think it's that high up.
It's a pretty strict government there too, man. They don't fuck around. It's a pretty. I don't want to talk politics, but it's a pretty strict government.
He's also a national hero for them too. So I mean, I'm pretty sure.
He has a lot of carry-ons too, man. He's got a fucking ton of people on his payroll. A lot of people. I heard Steve Kim told me there was literally probably had 50, 60 people that he was paying their bills every month for. Extended family, wife's family. Yeah, that's a rough way when you get and especially if people expect it.
Hey, quick question, y'all. He got rid of Roach. He's with Boo Boy. How many fights do you think he's got left, and is he gonna just stick with Boo Boy?
Well, I definitely know he's definitely not going to go back with Roach. That's for sure. He's not going to fight here in the States again. I don't think he will, only because of the money, this tax money. He'd end up having to give his whole purse over just to fight here in the States. So that's another reason why Mayweather fight might be hard to make, because I can't really see. Well, maybe I could see Mayweather going to Dubai or something, but.
In the chat, Nino Gagi says 2 or 3 fights left.
I was going to say 3.
That's a lot, in my opinion.
Well, I'll tell you, I think a lot of people are giving him, not to take any credit. Listen, you can never take anything credit away from Manny. He did what he did. You know what I mean? He's cemented his legacy. But I'm not going to give him too much credit for beating that version of Matisse. Matisse was there to get paid and leave.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, Jimmy, in the chat, somebody's asking you what you thought about the Mickey Ward movie, The Fighter.
I hated it. Sorry. I hated it. I don't like the way they painted his family at all. They made his sisters look like porch buzzards, uneducated. And the one that really bothered me the most, well, you got to understand, too, I was kind of prejudiced because I didn't stay when Mickey's mom left, kind of out of solidarity. It was the big grand opening. And when she walked out in the middle of the fucking movie, it was that scene where she says, "Oh, come on, Mickey, take the fight." Remember, like, he was supposed to fight somebody, and the fight fell through, and he ended up fighting McCallum, I think. But the dude was like 160 pounds. And in the movie, it made it look like Mickey was the one, Mickey's mom was the one who pushed it, fucking Mickey could use the money, and that crushed it, because in reality, Mickey's mother was furious that night. She didn't want him to fight at all. She was like, "No, let's go." She wanted nothing to do with that fight. And for them to, I understand, take creative licensing and they want to sell the movie, but the whole narrative, they made his family, yes, he's got a couple of sisters, I'll tell you right now, to this day will probably fucking knock out most dudes, But he's got his other 3 sisters of highly successful, educated people. 2 of them are college graduates. One's like a president at a bank. I'm telling you, like, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't portray them at all like that. And I didn't like the way they portrayed the relationship with Laurie Carroll. That's the mother of his daughter. You know what I mean? And I didn't like the way in the movie, it looked like it was all put together. Like Mickey was this half-hearted, kind of lovable goof, fixing holes in the cement, and this girl had to pull him and get his life together. That's not how it went down at all. Not at all. So that's, for that reason. But then again, people say anytime you go to see a movie and it's about people or something you're not going to like it because it's never close to the truth. But I just didn't think they had to make his family, and it broke his mom's heart. Literally, she died within 2 years after that movie came out. She was never the same. It crushed her. Because it did. I mean, if I didn't know Mickey, if I didn't know Alice, his mom, I wouldn't have liked her by the end of that movie. And she knew that. She says, "You know what? Everybody in the world who sees this is going to think of me." That broke her heart. I'll tell you. That really. And there was a lot of shit going into the movie. Like I'll tell you a quick story. Nobody knows about that. When they first wanted to they came down to shoot locations, right? So Dickie was all over these guys. He was working all over, right? Put his name in it. And he might not have been hitting the pipe, but back then in 2007, he was still fucking with the OxyContins real hard, right? Had his dad, Mickey's dad, was fucking had him addicted, anyways. But so he needed money, so I don't know how the fuck he got the producers to give him $70,000. And he took off to Florida, right? So these guys come back a week later expecting all the shit was supposed to be in place with Mickey, right? And Mickey said, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "We gave Mickey $70,000. He was supposed to that way." And he's like, "What? He's down in Florida. He left last Sunday." So he literally got the $70,000 and went and jumped on a plane. Yeah, so that's nobody knows about that. Yeah, and then they ended up during the shooting of the movie. They ended up giving him $10,000 and sent him to Vegas for the last week because he was starting. Because during the filming, they could see the way they were filming things that he was getting pissed. You know what I mean? About how a lot of shit was portrayed. I thought, though, I'll tell you what, though, the dude who played him, what's that actor's name? Bale, great guy, man. I didn't want to like him when I thought he was going to be like a douche. And who was the douche? It was Mark Wahlberg, to be honest with you. Showed up.
I heard about that. He's an asshole.
Escalade. What's that?
He's an asshole. That's what I heard.
Yeah, he came up like 6 Escalades, right? It was all blacked out, we thought the president was showing up. Got out with an entourage, and he was back home, so I can understand that. But he definitely carried himself like a movie star. Whereas Bale shows up in a Toyota Corolla, a rented Toyota Corolla, rented at the airport. Get out of the car, kind of bit soft-spoken, polite. When he asked you how you doing, he waited for a response. There was nothing pretentious about him at all. I don't know if he was doing that because. Listen, he had to hang around with Dickie because he wanted to get his mannerisms. And Dickie is like that. He's with his hands and talking, hey, what's up, all over the place. And so he did a great job. And I thought he portrayed and all that shit about him jumping out of the window. That was true. He jumped out of a 3rd floor window. He did do what he did. He was pretending to be a cop. His girlfriend was blowing dudes. And he would he pulled out a badge and he would fucking take the dude out and say it was the cops. Give me money and I'll let you go. Yeah. And they chased him downtown.
In the middle of a scene? And why the fuck are you walking right through? Like this in the background. What the fuck is it with
you? You went apeshit that day.
The hell was that?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale,
Best performance.
Yeah, he did it. He killed it. And that's true, too, what they did to Mickey that night. Oh, sorry, fire away, bro.
No, it's fine. I'm trying to close it. All right, go ahead.
I was going to say, so the night he ran, it was, it was downtown. It was, oh my God. Anyways, that's irrelevant, the name of it. But he wanted to get in. This is how they found him down there. He actually escaped from the police. It wasn't close to where he was. So that was in the Highlands where he lived, where that whole thing with the guy went down. And I don't know how he got downtown. And it was Rodney's nightclub. And he tried to get in. The bouncer wouldn't let him in. He was all sweaty. And he's like, let me in. He's like, get an ID. He's like, fucking ID. Get away from me, right? And this big U-Law football player. This kid's like 270, no-neck freak. And his dick, he cracked out of his head, like 140 pounds soaking wet, 5'11", with quarters in his pocket. And the dude put his hand on him. He's, get out. He went to push him. Dickie slapped his left hand away because I was looking right at the window. Like, hey, this Dickie. Just like I said, this Dickie. Gave him a 3-piece. Fucking kid crumbled like a fucking lawn chair. Folded him. And then, so all the other bouncers, I'm like, Dickie. I'm like, Mickey, it's your brother. Everybody went running out there. And by then, the cops had showed up. And, it got ugly. And what happened, they started beating Dickie pretty good because Dickie's nuts. And if there was an audience out front, all the people from the club went out there. So Dickie knew everybody was watching. So he was going to make a scene. But what happened, they ended up giving him a good crack in the head with a flashlight, opened his head up. So Mickey, and I saw it, and I should have been next to him, and to this day I blame myself. I'm like, Mickey, and I knew it, and he fucking, boom, he cracked Sergeant Darwin, put him out cold. And everybody's like, oh, no, you knew it was going to happen then. 90s, you kidding me? Of course, they get him up smelling salt. Mickey's already handcuffed. They took his hand, and they put it up on the hood of the cruiser, and he fucking took that mag flashlight and he smashed his hand like 3 times, shattered it, absolutely shattered Mickey's hand. Yeah, it was bad. It was an ugly night. But that, that part in the movie was true. Yeah, they broke his hand.
Yeah, I remember that part. Hey, Jimmy, did you see the Vinny Pacienza movie? What's it called?
Oh, I know that.
His movies Bleed for This or some shit like
that. Yeah, Bleed for This.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't. Nope.
Oh, okay. You don't like Vinny, right? Vinny Pacienza?
I'm gonna see it though. I want to see it. When it catches on, I'll catch it on cable some night. Like I said, I didn't have a very good experience. I really did with him. He was just a cocky prick. And he had 2 nights to be decent. And I tried to. I mean, I didn't go out of my way to stick my hand out or nothing, but he was just a cocky prick. He treated the girls like shit at the club. My girlfriend was a manager there, so that's why I was there, but that's the only reason why I was at the strip club. But
hey, talking about strip clubs.
What's that?
Talking about strip clubs, there was a guy here in the chat that was saying that he went to that Mayweather's Gentleman Club there in Las Vegas. Yeah, and he said it was empty. It's always empty. I don't know.
Oh, only dudes.
Probably, man. That's kind of weird.
It's not right on the strip, though, right? Isn't it off the strip a little bit?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think it's right on the main strip, so it's, you know what I mean? It's either feast or famine out there. But, I don't know. I mean, you got to put. That's a hard business because you got to put a lot of capital. You got to bring in talent. You gotta like Montreal. You're lucky. You live. If you're into strip clubs, you're in the Mecca in North America.
Really?
As far as I'm concerned,
there's one in every corner.
Like, yeah, you're not gonna beat St. Catherine Street. I mean, Montreal.
No.
Is that where BDA is? I know.
Although they did close the big one though.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, Super Sex, whatever.
Super Sex, yeah. I mean, they used to like that was any club around here, all the strip clubs around here, man. That was always like when you had girls come down from Montreal, they were always the headliners. Beautiful girls, man. They always were.
Damn. So I'm lucky, I guess.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's I lived in Montreal, although you get pluses and minuses. You also have Justin. Nope, just kidding. That was a joke.
Yeah. No, we love Justin Trudeau.
I just Ed Levine or Stephen Melinex. He's a ball guy, lives in Canada, does a YouTube channel. I watched a special on a guy with Rebel Media, and they did a special on. I didn't know anything about that guy. I don't want to say his name, but the dude you're talking about, we have no problem with. Like, I can't believe that he has what qualifications did he have? That just blows my mind, and I'm shocked when I actually found out what he actually was before. He backpacked around Europe. He came home and decided, hey, I'm going to get a job, and was a local politician. Then he became prime minister. Like, really? I don't know. I would have expected
that's
more
weird,
life experience.
Yeah, it can happen, I guess.
Plus, his father's a known Marxist. His father, didn't even hide it. His father was always a huge Marxist, hung around with Marxists, communists growing up. That's all he ever saw. I mean, his brother works for Al Jazeera. Did you know that? His brother was a co-producer on a movie for Iran.
What the hell?
For that's the God's honest truth. He's got co-producing credit for working on a pro-Iran movie. Justin Trudeau said, I said his name, but he said, when they said, what countries you respect, he mentioned China, Iran. I don't know, man. That dude kind of, because I still got family in Quebec, Sherbrooke, Laval, Ottawa. My blood comes from Canada. You know what I mean? So that's why Canada.
Which side though? Like the Irish side?
Me? No, the French side.
Oh, you have a French side. Okay.
What's that?
You have a French side.
Well, British, I'll tell you. Montbleu is the last name. Montbleu. It's the French side last name. It's the family up there, yeah.
Blue Mount.
Yeah, exactly. Blue Mountain. Yeah. But yeah, we're all over up there. I've been up there a bunch of times. I love Canada. Always have. Good people.
I was going to say something before we end the show. We should do a second Renaissance so we can talk about anything.
Yeah, you should.
Let's talk about the OJ trial. Did you guys see the show, The People versus OJ?
Yes.
Pretty good fucking show.
It. Oh, wait. Never mind. I was thinking of the actual documentary, that 5-part one.
Oh, yeah, that one too. A&E, I think, did that one. Anyways.
I just can't stand the guy who wrote it, Jeffrey Tobin. He's the guy on MSNBC every night saying it's white privilege, what's wrong with the country.
Is that the bald one?
Yes.
The bald one.
Yep. That's the guy who actually wrote that movie, which blows my mind. I enjoyed the miniseries that Bucho's talking about, but I just can't stand Jeffrey Tobin.
Yeah.
That trial was
I hate that cunt.
Yo, guys.
I love how the British use cunt. They just use it like we use the. That's just awesome. I found out when I was there, like, you cunt. This is awesome when he uses cunt here.
Is that like different in America? Because I heard.
Oh yeah, dude. Listen, cunt. Shit. That's cunt to a woman. You say cunt, like that's the no-go word. You know what I mean? Like,
I heard that.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no, that's bad. Like here, twat and cunt is the two words will send the average people through the roof. You can get away with saying fuck, but most people will usually stop you in your track. That's why when I was there with my wife, and she liked it, that word never bothered her. My wife at the time, including my girlfriend now, it doesn't bother her. But we laughed every time somebody said it, and they would say, "Well, yeah, stupid cunt," for anything. Give me a beer, you cunt. I'm like, wow. Yeah.
So yeah, OG didn't do it, by the way.
Yeah. Oh god.
I'm being serious, man. They planted a glove next to his house, and The blood evidence doesn't count, and the glove didn't fit.
Mind controlled.
The glove didn't fit.
Evil white people.
He was all sweaty and fucking
He had a latex glove on. I mean, it was a joke, man. I can't believe it. And the people who supported him, like, come on, man. We know what was happening.
Yeah, the shit, like, it's one for us, one for the black people. Like, come on, bro. Like, really? Like,
you're cheering a woman, and you know what? Even if you say whatever, that's his ex-wife, domestic bullshit. But that kid, all that kid was doing was dropping her glasses off from the restaurant. I know there was rumors that he was driving around in her car. None of that shit was true. He never met her. He was doing the manager of the restaurant a favor, dropping her glasses off. So he was literally probably at the door, wrong place, wrong time, and he lost his life. And, people are cheering.
Standing ovation. Even if he was doing something else, it's like, it doesn't justify it.
No, it doesn't. You're right. I'm sorry.
What was he doing there anyways?
Good point.
What was he doing there? He was a fucking stalker.
Wasn't she cheating?
No, they were already separated.
She was banging somebody, and I guess the night before, he saw somebody driving by in his Ferrari, or the Ferrari that was his that she got in the divorce. It doesn't matter. It wasn't his wife anymore. Like, who the fuck are you?
Exactly. Like, what's wrong with him? Like, damn.
He was. Some say he was on drugs. He was drugged out of his mind. Got jealous because he saw the waiter come in, like, to give the glasses that she left.
Let it go.
And then
you guys think
they
he
got an
actually
altercation.
Did it, or had somebody else do it for him?
No, he did it. Nobody else would. He didn't have that kind of money at the end. He lost a lot of money in car dealerships and shit he invested in. He really didn't. Then the 2 divorces, child support, he really wasn't. And whatever money he had left went into the lawyering. He wasn't that. He didn't have that kind of fucking cash. So he wasn't hiring anybody. That was a spur of the moment. It was sloppy. There was blood everywhere. It was an easy case to solve. It was just got politicized. They had the jury and all. And the fact that
dragged.
I think 6 of the jury now say if they were to do it again, they would vote guilty. Just goes to tell you, it was just ridiculous.
Man, even OJ's friend there, Kardashian there.
Yeah, the lawyer. Yep. His best friend.
He didn't believe. He's like, I had my doubts. He never truly believed OJ anyways.
No, and at the end of his life, he didn't. He stopped. He wasn't in contact with OJ anymore. He broke off contact.
Yeah, he broke.
Did it. Even Green, even the dude who was driving a Bronco, said he knows he did it.
Hey, you know what? I mean? Like even his lawyer, one of his Shapiro, he actually told OJ he was at some point during the trial. He said, like, you know what? Maybe we should do like a deal, like how you call it, like a
plea deal.
Plea deal, yeah.
Plea deal, yeah. Sorry, yeah, plea deal. So because he knew, like, you know what, this guy did it, and we might lose this fucking case. But then
they had his blood all inside the car. All right, no, you want to do a show? I'm sorry.
What?
I said you want to do a show on this. I don't want to keep going on you.
I was gonna keep
doing it.
We could do. Okay.
Yeah, no, he had like the blood all inside the fucking thing. Yeah, come on. The guy Kalo who lived there said he heard somebody come jumping the fence right where they found the glove.
Who was that guy?
They found the glove there because Kato pointed. He says, "Yeah, I heard the noise back there," and they went back there and found the glove. So the guy who killed him planted the glove there to make his OJ look like he did it. It's just it's farcical. The fact that he actually wrote a book. How I would have killed them, or if I killed them, this is what I would.
I saw that book. I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
Yeah, the court they made him shut the book down.
2 people died, and you're just making a joke out of it. Like, come on, man.
I think
come on. That's sad.
And the whole fucking chase, the guy was like, he was gonna leave the country, but then somebody saw him in the highway, and they called the cops, and that's when. I'm gonna kill myself, and like, come on, the guy was gonna bounce, man.
Oh yeah, he was gone. You kidding me? He was getting his shit together. That's right. Well, when he was, where was he, in Vegas when he got the call? Because they jumped on a flight
Chicago.
Right after and murdered her.
He was playing golf in Chicago, man. Bullshit.
And he almost like I saw autopsy pictures, man. It was fucking bad.
I never saw them. I don't want to see that shit.
Scenes.
I've seen photos.
Yeah,
she almost chopped off her head.
Decapitated.
Yeah.
How much rage that takes to sever somebody's head?
Yeah, it's really hard to do that.
I mean, there was no mistake, and he wasn't going in there like, you man, boom, through one jab. He was there to slaughter people.
And here's the thing, Jimmy. Yeah. Here's the thing: if you hire somebody to kill, they're just gonna stab you and kill you, clean cut in the throat, whatever, and then bounce. But this was a jealousy type of crime because he stabbed her multiple. I know he almost chopped off her head off. Like, so that means that it was a violent. Like, there was some emotions involved in the killing.
Right, and plus, right, one big thing, like you just said, it was say if it's hired. Now think about it. What hitman worth his weight in spit would ever use a knife? Because then transferring of DNA, they can scratch you, get your your skin under their nails. You're gonna stand there with a silencer. She's gonna walk out the door, and he's gonna put two in the back of her head and walk away. And you're not gonna kill somebody else. First off, you're not getting paid for it. You know what I mean? You're just not gonna slaughter somebody else because they're there. Yeah. You would have saw them set up. You would have called it off and said, we got to do it another time. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like, hitmen don't take knives and, butcher knives and slaughter other people.
Crime of passion, says Virtuoso. Yeah, crime of passion. That's what it was.
See that passion all over the sidewalk.
Yeah, Jesus
right?
Christ.
I mean,
man.
True, right? It was bad.
And that fucking judge was an incompetent piece of shit.
Someone having a baby with a woman and then stabbing her. I couldn't picture, like, I have an ex-wife, right? I don't give a fuck how bad shit got at the end or whatever, which didn't never get that bad, but I could never think about putting a knife through somebody you love, the mother of your children.
I know somebody who did that, and it's pretty crazy. I don't know if you want me to tell it or not.
Dude, you can tell, it won't offend me.
All right. I went to a Christian school, and there was this girl who was there, and I took a liking to her, but she was like 5 years older than me. So, at the time, she was 17, and there was a youth pastor there, and he was like about 22, 23, and they hit it off, and, I guess they started fucking and shit, and he got her pregnant like a couple of times. She lost it, she aborted, some shit like that. And then the third time she got pregnant, she was going to keep it. He didn't want her to keep it because he didn't want, everyone to know that he got her pregnant. And he went to her house, they got in an argument, and he stabbed her to death.
Shit.
She was like 17, and she was pregnant. She was like 4 or 5 months pregnant.
Wait a minute. Did they do a Dateline? Did they do a Dateline special on that, or one of those news stories? You know what I mean? Like one of those ID specials. The pregnant teenage girl. Well, not to shit on your state, dude, but you guys got a fucking lot of murders in that state. You guys get some crazy. Seriously, every time I watch that ID channel, it's always Florida or Texas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bizarre homicides. Ever notice that?
No shit. Texas has a death penalty.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was a big story nationwide, but it was a big story here in town.
Well, you got the highway, that killer, that serial killer they never caught. That one who actually killed Marilyn Monroe's first cousin, the 12-year-old. He's responsible for like 60, to some people say, on that highway in Texas. They still haven't caught him. He kills all those girls. All kinds. I think Texas leads the country to most serial killers.
Jesus.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, man. A lot of psychos around here.
All right, guys. We're going to have to end the show now.
Okay.
We'll do one tomorrow.
Thank you for having me, guys. You have a good night. Johnny, be safe.
Are you too, Jimmy?
BDA. Everybody, good night, man. You guys be safe.
Thanks again, BDA, for the invite.
No problem, man. Anytime. Thank you, everybody in the chat as well. Thank you for joining us, and we'll do a show tomorrow, and I'll let you know if we do a second Renaissance. All right, guys. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time. Take care.